Second. This is the Con Guy Show. We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic-Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things con. Look how it's a full house tonight. This is amazing. This
full
is
house.
Hey everybody, it's a full house tonight. We are partying because the party hasn't stopped yet. We will rest tomorrow. But right now, it's our annual San Diego Comic-Con after show, where tonight we are sharing our opinions about the highs, the lows, surprises, and our most memorable moments. Some of these might be all jumbled together. But first, I'm going to do something surprising. I'm going to welcome a second group to our podcast tonight. And that's because, you know, everybody, most of you guys know me as the Con Guy, as the Con Guy crew. We're also broadcasting to the Tiki Freaks site tonight because we got some tiki stuff that we're going to include tonight, especially one of the panels. All right. So let me see. For those who are used to our Tiki Freaks show, let me do that intro. All right.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, Katie, we had so much fun. Luke composed that music. That's Luke.
I recognized some things in it, so you know.
Yeah. So, anyways, Con Guy, Tiki Freaks, we're all here tonight. In one world, I'm the Con Guy. In the other world, I'm Rum Bum Jimmy. But with all of you, all of my friends tonight, simply call me Jim. And before we go any further,
Rum Bum.
Like one of the, do I have his book? The guy who wrote the book on most of the tiki drinks that we drink today, his name's, what is it, Mark?
Beach Bum.
Beach Bumberry.
Yeah.
Beach Bumberry. So he wrote the book that contained, he collected all the tiki drinks around the world into a book. It's like the Bible of tiki drinks. So I kind of riffed off his name. I'm Rum Bum Jimmy.
For you. I forgot to bring it for you. Remember, I told you I have it for you, Jim, and I forgot to bring it for you.
Wait. Katie, can you hold it up? Wait, let me go. Solo layout. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh, I love that. That is so great. I love that.
So, I came home and was like, I knew I forgot something.
No worries. Anyways, let's go around the clock, around the block, around the whatever this is thing here, and let's introduce ourselves with Cheeseman. I think you're first.
Well, different from Jim, Cheeseman is a part of my con name and tiki name. I'm just Cheeseman with the con guy, but Cheeseman in Paradise as the tiki person. But founding member of both things, and also a screenwriter, and yeah, con goer.
All right. And for the first time ever, you've seen her in the comments section before, but she joined us in San Diego this year. Who do we have here?
Hi, I'm Jessica Clue. First time at San Diego Comic-Con, but I've been to some others. Cosplayer, teacher. So that's what I do.
That's fantastic. Also, somebody who we've had on once or twice before on both Con Guy and the Tiki Freaks. Who was that?
Me?
That's you.
Yes, I am Mark Atkinson, and I guess technically I'm on both of these podcasts right now, right?
Yeah, you are.
Yes, I am a writer, actor, producer, moderator of Comic-Con panels, and a tiki, well, not a freak. I'm not one of you guys, but we're tiki.
Yeah, you are. You're pretty freaky, my friend.
All right, well, there's
wow.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a compliment.
Sure, Jim.
All right. Katie.
Everyone, it is Con Girl, Katie, joined by another female tonight, of course, with Jessica, who got to come down. We both broke down together. I'm really excited to talk about this Comic-Con, even though I was only there for half of it, but it was still great and still fun. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Awesome. Luke was there the whole time, but only for half of it. He'll talk about that, I'm sure. All right. And finally, Mr. Who?
Doctor Who. No. Hey, everybody, it's me. I'm exhausted. Old buddy Ben here. First time back on the show in a hot minute.
I know, it's awesome to have you here.
But yeah, I've been just working my day job a lot and other things, and a little bit of a behind the scenes work trying to take Con Guy and its family of shows to the next level if we can. We're chugging along. I always call us the little podcast that could, and that was reflected once again this year at San Diego Comic-Con, where in the past we started off with a WonderCon Power Ranger panel, and we did at least one at LA Comic-Con, and then as horrible and terrifying as the pandemic was, it led us to some really great opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise had. When Comic-Con went online, we were brought in to do our Power Rangers panel online. When Comic-Con went back in person, they brought us along for the ride, and we did 3 years worth of San Diego Comic-Con Power Ranger panels. And we took a little intermission from that this year, but we were still heavily involved with San Diego Comic-Con 2025, and we're going to get to that here in a bit. But I'm glad to be back on the show and glad to be back.
Ben, you know what we've missed most of all at the end of the show? Hopefully you will bring it back out at the end of the show.
You mean this?
Yeah.
My red cup?
Yes.
Anyways, was that a baby red cup you had, Jim, though?
This is my little bitty red cup, and hopefully Ben, you're gonna. I'm not gonna ruin Ben's moment, but he had a cool red cup moment. Anyways,
also just a little story time for you guys, real quick. I know we're gonna get into a lot of stories right now, but I was at a panel, and it's someone that I've crossed paths with before through my job, my former job. So, and he comes up to me, and we're after the panel. He's like, "Hey, I watched or listened. I don't remember which one he said, to your show." And he was like, "What's it called again?" And I was like, "The Con Guy." He's like, yeah, I watched it. He's like, and so it really is. And I think this is like the third time I've been at Comic-Con and had somebody tell me that they've watched our show. So I just wanted to shout out to everybody who is watching it, who is always listening there in the comments. We appreciate you. Jessica, of course, is included in that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. It means a lot, and you don't be afraid to comment like on our videos when we're not live. Like, we still love to see them, or on social media or whatnot. So I just want to say thank you, everybody who's who's still listening to us or just tuning in to us after 10 seasons. Like,
we're in our 10th season. Amazing. This is awesome. And Katie, that's a perfect chance to say hello, Andy, who is watching right now. And Andy, speaking of cups, he's got his R2D2 Tiki cup out, so he's crossing over into both worlds. Also, Steven, who we did an awesome panel, Steven, Success in Creativity, which closed out the con. And Steven had another one. He has some 3D modeling software.
Look at that handsome mug.
Oh, Steve's the best.
Is that a real person, or did somebody type in handsome to AI?
Steven, you owe him a drink now. But Andy had a question. And Andy, we'll talk about this. Are you going to put the Jaws panel online, Mark?
No, absolutely not. You don't get it.
That's a big yes, Andy. You'll see it.
Yeah, you had to be there. Sorry. Yes, we will be as soon as I get a link.
Yep,
we will be.
They'll have it in about 4 weeks. Yeah, Comic-Con waits when they record it. They record it for us. That'll be in about 4 weeks. The Tiki panel will be a lot sooner, though. So, well, I can't promise that. But anyways, all right.
Do they film all panels?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I just wanted to ask.
Just the ones in the larger rooms. The Jaws panel was a very large panel.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Since we're talking highs, let's talk about the highs. The highs of this 2025 San Diego Comic-Con. And since we're talking about it, Mark, what was a high for you?
I mean, without a question, it was the free drinks.
Oh, yes, I know.
I can confirm. So can Jessica.
No. I can't. Yes.
I'm only kidding. That was a close number 2. No, without a question, I'm still on a high from this. It was the Jaws panel, the Jaws 50 panel that we did on Friday night in room 6A. It holds about 1,000 people, and we had a packed house. So I couldn't believe it. I only thought like maybe 200-300 people were going to show up, but 1,000 people showed up, and I was so nervous, and I thought it was going to flop. I couldn't be more happy with you guys, with the panelists, and I got to thank Ben too. Ben, you did an awesome intro.
Wait, stop, everybody. I hear a video playing in the background. If we can kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say
Okay.
someone.
Oh.
Right, but I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mark.
No, it's
Go ahead.
okay. Oh, I was just saying, Ben did an awesome intro, by the way. I got to thank him, and why not do it publicly here on live streaming? I was a nervous wreck before the panel. I don't know why. I thought there'd be technical glitches and guests would be fighting and people wouldn't show up and I'd be drunk. And none of those things really happened. I had a light buzz, but anyways, but it all calmed. And I tell you exactly when it calmed. It's when Ben did his intro. He did such a killer bang up job. And remember, I practiced the intro a couple times in the room. I was like, what if I flub it up? Ben did such an awesome intro. I scrapped it. And he introduced everyone articulately and humorously. And you did a good job with all the superlatives and all that stuff and background. And I think all of my nerves melted when Chris Gore, the first panelist, was introduced and he got that applause. And it's just, I kind of snapped out of it and came to. But Ben, thank you so much. You did an awesome bang up job.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. And it was a lot of fun. I prepped up a little, 1-page intro and I introduced everybody, including Mark. And, I just walked out there and it's ballroom 6 and there's 1,000 people in there. And I just walked up to the lectern and said, "You're going to need a bigger ballroom." And everybody was like, "Yeah."
It was
like, all right, let's do this.
That's exactly what you should say at a Jaws panel.
There was no way I couldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's great, though. I'm glad you guys had a good turnout. Jessica and I tried really hard to make it in time. But if those of you who aren't from Los Angeles don't know, but those of you who are know that you can't predict traffic. And
well, you kind of can. It's always crappy.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to be an adult and work the same day, it's tricky. So
anyways, Mark, I agree. I was going through some other stuff on that day and it was kind of roiled and a little bit upset, but something about that panel that night, the panel that night just kind of exploded into like this fantastic experience. It was just so good. So well done. It's gotten some media coverage. Like even the Daily Jaws, the largest site in the world that covers Jaws, did a recap of our panel. They posted the Carl video, by the way.
Yeah.
And if you guys would indulge me, if you don't mind, since it kind of, Luke, do you have it or I have it? Since it kind of had a little bit of a snag.
Yeah.
I would love to share this. This is the video that we shared. It's really short. Carl Gottlieb is a screenwriter for Jaws. He's a very famous actor, screenwriter. He's done a lot. And he did a special shout out to the people at San Diego Comic-Con. I would love to share it.
Hello out there in Comic-Con land, San Diego. Are you all enjoying the sun and the surf, or are you all enjoying your crowded hotel rooms? I'm sorry I can't be there with you, but I am older and frailer these days. But I can send you these words of encouragement. Enjoy the movies as much as you can, because they don't make them like that anymore. And the movie that I worked on so hard so many years ago has stood the test of time. It's Jaws, the original, and I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. And I hope you have none of the problems watching it that we had making it. The ultimate test was the film was finished. It was released. And you guys are responsible for its success ever after. Remember, we, the filmmakers, we don't tell you what's a hit, you tell us. It comes from the audience every time. And thanks for making the Fish movie a hit for all of these 50 years.
Love it.
Ooh, that's so sweet.
yeah, that's a really good
Hey,
video.
Luke, can you help get us back on screen? Let's just
Where'd
talk it.
everyone go?
You
Oh,
jinxed
there I
us by saying that you had technical difficulties in the
Yeah, I
panel.
don't know how to
There you
make
go.
that work. I don't know how to make it work. But Luke, fantastic job on the video. And by the way, there is more coming later. And Ben, you were able to 5 years ago. Ben was part of our special Summer of Jaws. We did 10 different episodes, all featuring folks from Jaws. And one of our favorites, I think, was Carl Gottlieb. He was so fun, so cool. We did 90 minutes with him. So we have some more stuff coming later. But he wanted to do a special shout out to San Diego Comic-Con there. And I got to say, if you were not able to join us, Mark, what's happening in September?
We are doing LA Comic-Con, Jaws 50 panel. Yes.
Yes, we are. And for those of you who don't know, since we're talking LA Comic-Con, we are returning to LA Comic-Con with Ben. You'll hopefully you can go. I haven't asked you yet. The Power Rangers are back with us. So we're doing a Power Rangers panel at LA Comic-Con. So we're really excited.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. So that was Mark's high. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Katie.
So there was two really, really memorable moments. I have to
Wait,
give so
Lily
much
said it was a really great panel. Hi, Lily.
Oh, thank you,
Hi.
Lily.
All right. Go ahead.
So I have to mention two things. First was Ben and Bree, because Ben was the MC and Bree was running the show. But
Wait, we got to stop and give a hand. We
Yeah.
got to give applause.
So
Can you please pass this applause on to Bree and Ben?
So
All right.
Jessica and I, we got into San Diego at about 7:15. We had to go to our hotel, which mind you was by the airport. For those of you who don't know, it's far. It's far. It's not far, but it's far in relation to where most people stay for the con. We're not in Gasland. But we hopped in an Uber. Well, we really quickly got changed, hopped in an Uber, and got to go to the Ignition press room for the burlesque show that Ben was the master of ceremonies for, and he did a really delightful set. I have not posted the video of it yet, but I do have it, and I need to send it to Ben too. But I did take some video of it, and he did a great job. The show was wonderful. There was free alcohol. So I can confirm with what Mark said about
Mark.
alcohol. So it was a good time.
The only one I didn't go to.
And
I should have.
if you went to the burlesque show, you could get a special variant of the upcoming Warrior.
Wait, let's go. Let's make that larger. I want to see
So
that. Yeah.
you could get the Ascan variant, Ascan edition.
The what edition?
Ascan. Yeah. Anyway,
That's what it
So
says.
the first edition variant is usually called an ash can, but
Yes.
in the case
Right.
of Voyeur, it's called an ass can.
Yes.
Very nice.
And I have to just applaud Brie. Like, I know I already mentioned it, but at first when I heard about it, I was like, why a burlesque show at Comic-Con? And thankfully, I think Ben addressed it in his opening spiel about like the whole vibe of the upcoming comic book, which I believe comes out in September, and that's why a burlesque show was done to keep with the vibe of it, and it was delightful. It was fun. I had never been to a burlesque show. I'd seen burlesque performances, but not like a full burlesque show. So it was fun. I mean, Jessica can probably join in too. Like, it was like, I told her, she's like, this is my first Comic-Con. This is a fun experience. I'm like, listen, this is my like 11th Comic-Con and I've never experienced this. So,
And the first thing we did at Comic-Con as well. Everything kind of just didn't compare to that. I mean,
Jessica's
it was
first
amazing.
ever Comic-Con experience. It's all downhill from there.
Yeah, exactly.
and it was on G Street, and the venue was really.
It was
really
where?
cool. On G Street.
The burlesque show was on G Street. What?
Yeah.
G-string.
I just think it's funny.
Yes, G-string, everybody, G-string. It was
I know.
G-string.
I'm still an adolescent.
But yeah, but
Jim
the
is
venue.
10 years old.
The venue was really, really cool, and everything about it, like, it was just a really good. I really hope you guys got to stop by the Ignition press room if you were there. So that was the first thing, and then the other thing I'm going to talk about, and I will try not to.
Wait. Before we move on, and
Yeah.
we're going to come right back to Katie, I do have to say, and because as Katie gets ready, because she has a good one that she's about to share. Ignition Press. I don't want to move on from this.
Mhm.
Everyone, all I got to say is when it comes to Ben Cleaver, Chris Hardwick, eat his dust. Ben Cleaver became like an in-demand moderator / introduction guy / everything of the. He's kind of like in demand now. Ben, that was super cool. I don't know if that would tell me about one of your highs, and then we're coming back to Katie. I mean, as it relates to Ignition Press, I'd love to hear this.
Well, yeah, my wife Bree, who many of you know, she's been on the show before. She is the director of marketing at Ignition Press, which is a new comic book publisher. They've been around for about a year-ish, and they haven't actually released any books yet. As Katie said, Voyeur is dropping in September. A lot of books are going to be dropping in the fall. But they've got some real firepower behind them with great writers, great artists, people you've heard of, and the people behind it. The chief staff folks over there are some pretty big powerhouses themselves. So it is the next big thing to look out for in comics, I believe. Of course, I'm biased, but there you go. So we've got No Place. We've got Murder Podcast.
Yeah.
And then of course Voyeur. There's other ones. Arcadia is going to be coming out. But they're also producing podcasts. They've got Jeremy Hahn's my dog started barking and I got freaked out because I was talking about scary things.
Dogs know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what is the name of Jeremy's podcast? Now I can't think of it. Something. Curious Haunts. That's what it is.
Scary stories. The scary stories.
Jeremy Hahn's Curious Haunts. Jeremy, of course, has written a ton of comic books. Cullen Bunn is also doing his own podcast called Colonoscopy.
I love that.
And of course, Leah Williams. Stephanie Williams and Leah Williams are both writing different books for Ignition Press, but Leah Williams is writing Voyeur, and the artist is David Baldeon. And that one is kind of a sexy thriller, and that is the reason we did a burlesque show. It was a big swing. Honestly, it was really big swing. But it killed, and all props and credit goes to of course my wife Bree. She set up the whole thing and produced the whole thing, but the performers in the show that night were amazing. It was put on by Herbal Elegance Review, which is run by a young woman named Gwen Ruby, and it was a stellar burlesque show, and people got a great response. But the Ignition Press room was essentially, they decided they weren't going to do something on the floor of the convention center just because it's crazy.
Yeah.
And this year was crowded back to pre-pandemic levels.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
on the
so.
con floor.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that because I got a little.
I have
irritated.
thoughts on that.
Yeah, I had thoughts as well.
And so, but the Ignition Press room, they were open during the day. You could go in, you could meet writers, you could meet artists, you could get them to sign your books. You could buy merchandise, you could buy, or you could pick up like the cold opens, the 0 issues for a lot of the books that they're going to be releasing this fall. And get some free coffee. They had a coffee bar sponsored by Kickstarter.
Yep.
They had a really cool step and repeat. You could get your picture taken in front of you. You could see original art. You could mingle. You could see. You could be seen.
Right.
And it was kind of the place to be. I got to be honest. I spent most of my time there.
Yeah. And
What was
if
the
I
venue
can,
again?
what'd you say, Mark?
The venue? What was the venue?
It was at 643 G Street.
It's a
they called
beautiful
it
venue, like a big warehouse
They
event.
called it the Ignition Press Room. I can't remember what it's called. It's
The Sinclair.
The Sinclair, yeah,
Okay.
it's a venue
Okay.
there in the Arts District. It's a historical building, but yeah, it was just really cool. And I
Can I
met
just pitch it over to Luke for a second? Hey, Luke, were you going to mention Ignition Press? I don't know if you were.
I mean, probably not beyond what you guys were saying.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump in then. One of my highs of the week was when we came down. Bree was there, and there was nobody. It was like Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday we showed up, and she introduced us to the editor-in-chief, the CEO, the guy who packages the film and TV stuff together, and we were able to sit there and talk with them for about half an hour, just really finding out about the process, finding out about Ignition Press, and really getting to know the place. And just again, thank you, Ben, for connecting us, but thank you, Bree, for the introductions. And let's just say me and Luke as screenwriters and potential comic book writers loved that that meeting. That was great getting to talk, and they such fun guys. The guy, he's the producer of Scott Pilgrim and Associated Properties and other stuff. It was a powerhouse team there. So kudos to Ignition Press. Hopefully we'll be talking about them a lot more. So yeah, that was one of my highs. All right. Who's next? Let's stay on highs for just a couple more minutes.
I'll go real quick, and now we can move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, Katie, we're not going to move on. We got some more highs.
I know. I meant like other.
Okay, yeah.
I'll finish mine. Is what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, we were going to get back
not
to Katie, Jim, remember?
No, yeah, we're going to Katie because I full disclosure, I love this one she's about to say. I think.
Yeah. So, if you guys watched our show, our pre-Comic-Con show, where we talked about panels, you already know that I was very passionate and excited about Demon Slayer making an appearance at Hall H. If you were not listening to that panel, the brief Cliff Notes version is Demon Slayer, the anime, did a Hall H panel for their upcoming first installment of their finale, which is in theaters in IMAX. And already IMAX is huge for anime. It's not, for those of you who don't know, IMAX is not an easy thing to get because only one film can be in IMAX at a time. So that's huge. So they had a panel. I got in line during the Peacemaker panel, which was 2 panels before it, in hopes that once Peacemaker let out, I could get into the venue. Normally, it wouldn't be that way on a Saturday night, but it was, and I was able to get into the room with 15 minutes before the last panel before it ended. And Lisa, who is an anime huge artist in Japan, but she does a lot of opening for anime anime intro credits. She opened the show, the entire panel, singing the first and most well-known Demon Slayer's song, which is huge. She came all the way out from Japan. So that already set the note high. I could have gone home then and been like, that was the best thing I've ever seen. Then
there we go.
And then the panel came, and they had the director, I believe it's the director, the person who's in charge, the creative director, and Japanese and English speaking talent. And for those of you who don't know, that doesn't happen in America. Usually it is just the English speaking talent in America, and the Japanese artists stay in Japan. It's not common, to my knowledge. If I am wrong, y'all, I am sorry. This is just from what I know, from what I've followed and stuff. So we had the Japanese speaking voice of Tanjiro, and we had the English speaking voice of Zenitsu. And the panel was moderated by someone from Crunchyroll, and then there was a translator on stage, and they did the panel in Japanese and English, so they let people speak whichever native tongue they were familiar with, which that is when I started to kind of get very emotional, because to see Japanese spoken on the biggest stage at Comic-Con was phenomenal and emotional. Mm-hmm. And then to see these actors also being able to come all the way from Japan, and like the crew members were like, I was really nervous about coming here, and now you guys are all here. And then Lisa, when she did her closing and outro, she said, thank you for appreciating Japanese culture and anime. And I was so emotional, because for those of you who listen, maybe don't know me, I am Japanese American. I didn't grow up knowing about Japanese content. It wasn't a big thing in my childhood. I didn't have friends who were Japanese to introduce me to anime, so I didn't really know about anime till I was older. And so seeing that, that's the main reason. I also saw the first 13 minutes of the new film.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and then Lisa closed it out again with her brand new unreleased song for the new movie.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
I'm sorry, that was probably a little wordy, but it just meant a lot to me to see a panel especially be in both Japanese and English and have a translator, because we've seen foreign actors and foreign talent on Hall H before, but to my knowledge, I've never seen a translator. It was always English that was spoken. So it was very, very emotional for me. I'm so glad I got to go to it. Probably going to be in one of my favorite panels I've ever seen at Comic-Con. And to see, what is it, 6,000 people or something?
6,500 in Hall H.
6,500 people
It's amazing.
go there for Japanese art. It was just amazing because it cleared out after Peacemaker, because it's a different genre. So like, I'm sure some people like both, but it cleared out after Peacemaker. And to have Saturday night slot is the biggest slot of the entire convention.
So whose slot did they take the place of?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that's basically all I have to say about it. But yeah, I'm surprised that they held it together and didn't cry while I was saying that, because I'm getting emotional thinking about it. But it was wonderful. And
awesome.
They all seemed very like thankful that like they're like, oh, you guys made this awesome, and like thank you for appreciating this. And yeah, and even the moderator, she was great. She spoke English, but she did also still address them like formally in Japanese and would say certain phrases in Japanese. And so she was a great moderator too, in the sense that she was very, very prepared and knew who she was interviewing. And that goes a long way, because I'm sure all of you guys have had your share of knowing good moderators at Comic-Con and bad moderators. And there's a big difference. So
Yep.
So.
All right. Before we go on, I just want to say hello to Steve Gilman. Also want to say hello to Jonathan Wilkinson. And then Andy, we'll talk about your question a little bit later. All right. By the way, I am drinking out of my Landman cup, and if anybody's wondering, which was one of the offsites, the lodge, the Paramount Plus Lodge, which was a great offsite, one of my highs. Jessica, what were you saying?
Well, I was gonna say earlier that Ben's part of his show, when he did some stand-up, it was amazing. So that was a really big high for me. But just being able to go and, living in Southern California my entire life and hearing people talk about it and always wanting to go, just being able to be there and be around everyone, go to some of the panels, walk into Ballroom 20, just straight on walk in there, was just amazing. And I did get to see some of the things that I wanted. And this is part of the high too, of commenting on an actor's post that I was a part of the panel, and getting a comment back. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm totally fangirling out right now.
The actor commented back?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's cool.
I was kind of shocked and surprised, and it was just so much fun. So
also, Jessica, I happen to notice this thing that's sitting behind you on your little table there.
Wait. Let's take a look.
Assuming.
What is this?
I'm assuming that was a good moment too.
Yes.
Tell us about this.
Magic happened. That's what I have to say.
We found she found her way to the Funko booth.
I did. I found my way to the Funko booth. I got what I wanted, because let me tell you, that's a whole nother story in itself of trying to get in to get merchandise that you want. That is difficult. But
Luke's going to talk about that a little bit later too.
But yeah, just for those of you who are listening,
under the low section.
Funko released re-released another version of the first Funko Pop that they ever released, which was a Batman in a clamshell case, and they released Batman, Penguin, and Robin in a clamshell case this year, and so she was able to get the set of those, so And if you guys are aware, Funko is not normally collector friendly in the sense that, oh, they're sealed, you can prove they're sealed. But with the clamshell,
That's
they
cool.
can stay sealed. So she did that, and then she also got some more other Batman regular Funko Pops. And those of you who aren't familiar, usually you have to have reservation, so you have to be there at just the right time once they open that lineup.
Yep.
To get some of those things. So yeah.
Hey, Cheeseman, and Mark, I think you might be having connection issues because you are frozen, my friend. We can hear
I'm
you.
frozen?
Yeah, you're frozen in
On our end, you are, yeah.
a very
Really?
stoic looking picture. I don't.
Oh boy.
I mean, as long as we hear your voice, you're fine. It's not a bad picture.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, as long as I wasn't caught picking my nose or something.
Hey, Cheeseman, what about you?
Well, I just have a question for the online people. Does anybody know how to quickly change HEIC photos to JPEG that can be
I do.
megabyte or smaller? Because this is what I've been doing the entire show.
I've been saying it, Luke. Just export them as JPEG, and then
But
reduce
that takes
the
a long
size.
time to do.
Are you
individually.
okay? I don't know if it still works this way. So don't like kick me off the show if I'm wrong. Are you using a Mac?
Yeah.
You used to just be able to on your desktop change the
Mhm.
dot
Like,
JPEG.
Preview normally does
There
it.
you
but
go,
they're
Mark.
not giving me settings.
I'm back.
It's not
So
something we need to
normally
talk
you can
about,
just
but
change the name and then say JPEG after it instead of whatever format it's in, and it'll change it to JPEG.
Okay, who has a longer one? I will offline with Luke if somebody wants to talk about a good moment for just a
Try hitting your computer with a hammer.
I
Luke,
feel
I can
like
help
it
you.
right now.
Luke, I can help you.
Shake the computer.
All right, who's got another high? Who's got another high? Hey, tell you what, let me give my highs real quick.
Okay.
And Luke, of course, Luke might be trying to put some of these on there. One of my highs, we had a friend that visited with us from the East Coast, our friend Tim. Tim he used to live out here in Los Angeles. He's a filmmaker. Katie, you know Tim. Were you able to see him while he was here?
Yeah.
Okay. That was awesome. So Tim was here. He's got some projects he's trying to network in, pitch. Again, Bree at the Ignition party on Saturday night was able to walk Tim over to the editor-in-chief, introduce them to each other, where they were able to connect, exchange information, and talk for a bit. That was an amazing thing. I'm just speaking on behalf of Tim because he can't be here, but it did my heart good that one of his idols is George Lucas. So, Andy, to answer your question, I did not make it into the George Lucas panel, but Tim was able to get in last second into the panel, last person in, he was up in the gaggle, up in the front by the stage, and he said it was one of his most amazing times he had at the con. So Tim was able to get in. That was happy for me. One of my other things, and Luke, I don't know if you're trying to load this video in or a photo, is the offsite, the clown in the cornfield offsite. How many of you guys went to that?
We Jessica and I passed it when we were leaving, but everything was closed by the time. We never went outside before everything was closed. But I saw it and was like, oh.
So AMC Plus and Shudder, they have a movie that is coming out called Clown in a Cornfield, which they actually showed on Friday night over at the Marriott. They had a screening of it, but it's a horror movie about clowns in cornfields and other things, I guess. But they put on this most amazing haunted house. It's they had actors. Oh, wait, Luke's got some. Look at this.
Whoa.
This is us walking through. It was like Halloween Horror Nights, Katie. It was so amazing. They had created this whole cornfield inside. It was an all inside, but it was so well done with actors in different rooms, and you can hear the screaming and walking through. I was impressed. Like they were able to really create. It felt like I was at Halloween Horror Nights, and I loved it.
The creepiest thing I'd say about it was that they'd like whisper at you through the cornfield and all that, and you just wonder, okay, is someone back there with a voice dressed? No, but even though they weren't really hardly seen, they still dressed up like full clowns. And if you look through there was these creepy clowns haunting you.
Oh yeah,
That's a commitment to the bit.
Oh, I'm glad you have this video clip. Yeah, so for those of you who went, you know what we're talking about. But I tell you what, this was definitely one of the highlights of one of the best experiences of the week.
You want me to show outside?
Yeah. Show outside if you can. Show a little bit of the outside. It was like such a cool immersive experience with this. You're running through the cornfield, getting the wit scared out of you. They had all these cool actors, and then Luke's got, I think, a little bit of a video of the festival that was happening right outside the cornfield. Do you have that, Cheese?
Like after you went through it?
Yeah. You come out and you play some games. Whoops.
Sorry.
And then you get murdered by a clown.
You get free popcorn. I still have mine. Hopefully it tastes good.
And you get to play some games. Look at those dead
That's a
hands
fun
coming
ring
up.
toss. That's funny.
I love that.
Oh, look at her. Great cosplay. It was definitely, whoops.
Yeah, so you got slushies, popcorn. You got to play some games, and
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had giveaways and everything, but I love this. It just was a festival feel outside, and then you get this little photo op here where you stick your head in with the
I
creepy
almost
smile.
survived.
And then they chop your head off.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love this.
Wow, that's like I
All right,
gotta
geez.
say,
Wow.
I gotta say that even just walking the floor, there was a lot more horror on the film at the convention this year.
I think it
And-
was one of the most
Yeah.
horror themed year in many, many years. Whoops.
And I love it because we don't, for those of you who aren't from Southern California, horror is huge here. I know it's huge universally, but like it's so popular in Southern California. So it was fun. I was walking the floor like, ooh, look, it's spooky. And it would just be like, ooh, shiny, but ooh, spooky. And and if you guys watch, as you know, the con guy is going to be switching over to the scare guy very, very shortly.
Yes,
So-
it is. Yes, it is.
How did you guys have time to do all this stuff? Like go to the Paramount Lodge and the clown in the cornfield? Like I was with you guys. We were just like
Mark,
panicking
some
on
of
the
us
panels
got
and
up.
the whole time, right?
yeah, this
Some
was
of us
early
did
in the
something
day.
other than party and drink all night. I mean, a little bit.
And I
We
know
actually-
everybody wants to know this, but I still have the popcorn, and the movie comes out August 8th, but on the bottom it actually gives an expiration date. It says best by October 1st. So this
You can
popcorn
eat it at the movie.
A nice
is still
window.
good. I get to get to the movie. I know you really want to know that, but it's very exciting.
Mark, you did quite a bit too. I mean, you were one busy man. I mean,
I did, but I was like more of a night owl. I didn't do like anything during the day.
yours involved Ubers and going party hopping, but but
Hey, I got you guys to do a good one though, right?
no. Okay, can we talk about that? Luke, do you have that video? IGN.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if I got a video. Somewhere I got a picture if this stuff will download. But
No worries, no worries. Tell you what, Mark.
You can put them
One
on
of-
social media.
one of
I
my-
was gonna
I've
say, we can
never-
throw those up on social.
So like the night after the Jaws, yeah, we can put it on social. The night after the Jaws party, the Jaws panel, we were having we kind of took everybody out and we were having basking
well, the night of the
afterglow.
Jaws panel. After
Yeah,
that.
and Mark was able to get us into the IGN party that night. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
One of the other things, I do have to say this because we do have to kind of move on here. One of the highs for me was definitely, and for those of you who are watching from the Tiki Freaks, I just want you to know, Shag was there, and we had Shag. Here's the advertisement. He was on the floor selling his stuff, and we were able to do a panel with him that night. So we started off with all the lights, but look at this. Look at all the people on the panel. It's awesome. And here we are afterwards. Ben did a great introduction to the Shag panel, and this is a
Another
picture.
great intro, Ben.
Oh man, it was so great. It was so great. But one of the best things, and I guess I should leave this. I'm also covering one of my biggest surprises. I don't feel we did the best job of promoting. We promoted everywhere we could, but I wasn't sure, okay, this is Comic-Con. How is Tiki going to play at Comic-Con? And when we approached the panel room, I saw one or two ladies standing outside the panel room. So, oh, we have a couple people. So at least we'll have a panel. I walked into the room, packed all the way to the back with all the Hawaiian shirts and everything on. I was like, what? Shag held court. After Ben introduced him, Shag just stood up. We had made a presentation for him, and he held court. He had people laughing. He had people just loving what he was doing. And Shag, if you ever watch this podcast, thank you so much. It was an honor to work with you. But I got to tell you guys that one of my biggest highs was because Luke will tell you, I was worried. I was like, I haven't promoted it enough. I haven't done enough. We hadn't done enough to get ready for it. And then when you walk in and see he had 300 people in the room, I was like, holy crap. That was a surprise. That was a big surprise. All right, Cheese, what else?
Well, I think I did finally get some pictures, but
sandwich.
the lodge.
Well, that looks good. Is that
They're
a
giving
slider?
out free chicken sandwiches and sliders and fries, as well as drinks and, like Jim mentioned, that mug. So that was cool. The only thing I wish we would have known is how long we had, because we were like all of a sudden like, all right, your time's up. Like, oh man, I just kept eating food and drinking drinks and talking to people I know. I didn't know there was like a time limit, but that's
So that was the only picture you got.
Was it hard to get into the lodge?
You had to make reservations.
Yeah.
And we were able to go in on Wednesday because they had a special press preview day. And let's just say they treated us well. It was a very good experience.
Oh, wait, I did get this, if this does show. That was fun. Me, Greg, and Jim all did this little like video thing of you against the wanted thing. So I just looked really, really drunk just to be, especially what I'd be wanted.
All right, Cheeseman, I see that you got some photos in here. Do you have some highs you want to share with us before we move on?
Well, as somebody who's a big Jaws fan, Back to the Future, all that stuff always kind of sucks me in. So like just going around, I'm sure we're going to talk more about this later, so maybe I shouldn't show too many things, but just seeing what NECA's doing, and now they're doing the poster thing, which is what I'm showing here on screen. There's some Hallmark stuff coming of Batman 66, which I'm a big fan of. There's the Jaws sign, which is the Amity sign, which goes from the normal Amity welcomes you and then changes to the shark and help shark, kind of the iconic sign thing you see there. And as you can see, there's a nice little Slimer there too. So there's a good variety of stuff coming out and kind of the cultural collectible type things I do. And then this was what Jim was mentioning was when we went to the idea. So
yes, I was happy.
Nothing like great photo ops, a lot of people, free drinks and food.
JMO and Gingers in an hour.
Wait, like put that back up, Luke. Look what shirts we're wearing. Luke's wearing his Tiki Jaws shirt, and I'm wearing my I Survived the Jaws 50th panel shirt. So that was cool.
Yeah, so we're celebrating and then just hanging out with people, you know, at the Hilton after.
Oh, there's April. That's April Wallen. She is fantastic. She puts on
Wallene.
Wallene. Listen, I was raised on phonics, so I'm just kidding. But what are her panels been? She usually does writers panels, creators panels, and different things for mixing together. Yeah.
I'm not sure what she did this year. I wasn't able to go, but
you were a little bit busy.
She's always doing stuff.
And that was Pat Jankowitz, who was one of our. Oh wait.
We turn the sound down a little bit, but seeing All American Rejects at the party. What was it called? The fandom something?
The fandom party.
The fandom party on Thursday. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, and then look, the old Superman showed up.
That's Brandon Routh.
Spider-Man.
Nice.
Brandon Routh dressed up as Spider-Man at the American Rejects show.
Yeah, so that was a blast. I was hoping to see him at Warped Tour, but I guess they only played Saturday. But I'm glad I at least got to see him at Comic-Con.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. Anybody else, or Luke, do you have anything for? We do have to move on, but like highs, the highs,
guys. Bring up the. We did go to another party. On
oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, one of my highs that was. I don't suppose you have the video, do you?
I do have that.
Okay,
guys. For time, I think we should put the videos.
We're going to, but I'm going to share this one, right? But I am going to share this one.
We're just
showing like a brief second of it.
Show it.
But we'll just quickly describe it as we show the video. But we'll post the videos online because this is.
But go. Can we get rid of that? So I'm a big fan of The Lost Boys. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And during the Ready Party 1 party, the guy who sings the lead song, he's got a very memorable but hard to remember name as well. He was there in person singing
Cry Little Sister.
Cry Little Sister while they showed Lost Boys behind him. That was amazing. And then also they did the other song with the saxophone with one of the Frog Brothers was there to sing that one. So these were amazing moments. Amazing moments. I loved it. All right. Thank you, Luke. Let's go on next. All right, cool. I don't have any other highs. Let's go ahead and move into our lows. Okay, these are things, and at the very end, if we've missed one of your highs, you can bring it back. For lows, things that we kind of bumped up against that kind of didn't quite gel with us. Katie, I would like to know your thoughts.
And hopefully it's a short list for us.
Oh, I mean, I was only there for 2 days, so it's at least half of what your guys's could be. For me, and again, y'all, this is just my overall opinion, and just based off of 11 years of going to Comic-Con. Just the little things, like we all mentioned, and everybody I talked to for the most part can agree that the floor was a disaster. It was so crowded.
Oh, you mean the crowds on the floor were a disaster? Yeah, but the floor itself was pretty cool.
So there's like kind of two different angles I'm going to go out on this. So my anxiety hit really hard when I was on the floor because they keep adding more and more booths, which is great. We're all there to see booths, but unfortunately, the convention center only has so much space.
Yeah.
And because the more that they add, the smaller the walkways get. And a lot of the fun of walking the floor is, obviously it's understandable that you're going to walk and stop, and you're going to walk and stop. Unfortunately, and I understand that everybody who works the event is volunteers, and I'm not negating that in any way, shape, or form. They're doing a job. That said, it seemed like a lot of people forgot how to be kind.
Yeah.
When I was on the floor, both not so much the people in the booths, but I understand we all need to walk. I understand we all need to keep moving. But when you're telling people just very, very aggressively to keep moving and not even like being kind about it, it was just a little bit upsetting.
Yeah.
Especially when one time someone was like, if you want to talk to your friends, go to the lobby. I was like that was not necessary. That was just one little thing, not little, but that kind of took away from the experience. And
if you want to have fun, don't come to Comic-Con.
And it was just kind of one of those moments that made me really, really we all paid a lot of money to be there, and it just kind of felt like it just didn't feel great. And so I just think that as much as I love seeing the floor so full, there just needs to be a better way to figure out how to space it better. And it's not like they haven't had experience doing this. This was like year 53, 55.
We're getting close to 55. Yeah.
So just little things that I think could be improved. It was not necessarily like bad. It was just, it could be used in a little bit improvement. And going along with that was I didn't always feel safe. To the point where if something bad were to happen, there was too many people that we couldn't have easily gotten out of there safely. And that's where my anxiety hit in. And I might get some people mad at me for this, and I apologize. I love cosplay. You all know that. I love props. But there needs to be, people need to be aware of their surroundings. Because there were a lot of cosplays that were so big, and they're cool, don't get me wrong, but Comic-Con does not have the space for massive cosplays. I saw people with 3 and 4 foot wide costumes, and when we have so little space, it wasn't great. And I almost got impaled by someone's prop. I almost got tripped by people's props because they weren't mindful of where they were holding them on their body. So to anybody who is a cosplayer and just wanted to give a little PSA, just be mindful of your surroundings. I love cosplay. Don't think I don't, but it was not easy. And I was getting hit by props a lot too. So that's
I think I got my foot stepped on by a guy dressed as Jabba the Hutt.
Mark, you're frozen, but it's a decent picture, so don't worry about it. Jessica,
I also got my foot stepped on because someone stepped backwards to try to take a picture of someone.
Oh,
so little things like that.
Yeah, that's my new thing that gets on my nerves when somebody's walking forward and then just suddenly will turn just quickly without looking before they turn back. Yeah, that used to happen a lot.
And people just not being polite when they run into you or they're trying to get through. I was like, just please, like, you can be
Yeah.
nice about it. And I think
And-
that was my thing that I was most sad about.
And for the record,
Mhm.
the people not being nice to you, if they were volunteers and worked for the con,
Yeah.
that's a con thing. But we're just pleading with the people who Comic-Con had nothing to do with it. Just mean people. Mean people need to be nicer. Jessica, you were saying something.
Well, going along with not having enough space in the aisles, the giant bags that some of the people were giving out for the merchandise, I did not need a bag that large, and it hindered the aisle. So it, in addition to the cosplay that is being amazing, you then have these giant bags that my students could fit in, and I could carry them around, and I
Body
teach fourth
bags.
grade. So
But you know why they're
giant
big,
bags.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just all the posters and things they hand out on the floor, so
No,
they're
yeah.
catering to all the giveaways and
Yep.
things.
True.
Steve,
There's
Steve,
that
Steve,
hand
agrees with you.
again.
But bigger aisles would be nice.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Ben?
And really quickly, I do have to dip. This is
Okay.
a live show, and I do have to dip out. But and I'm also exhausted, and I need to dip out and take care of my wife, who is also exhausted.
But before you leave, you got to give us the leaving
Yeah,
thing.
No, Jim. Way to
Okay.
spoil it. Jim with his. No, by the way, does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about ever?
Go.
Well, folks out there in internet land, you know I love you, Jim. I got to dip out for this show, but we're going to be doing more hopefully soon, and we'll probably see you at LA Comic-Con. But until then, my name is Ben Cleaver, and folks always ask me, why are you drinking out of that red cup? Well, it's because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party. Good night, everybody.
And Ben got asked that at Comic-Con. Where's your red cup? Which was
ask
cool.
that.
I think he's in the
Pretty
Batcave
awesome.
right now. He looks like a Batman.
All right, Ben, thank
All
you
right,
so much
bye,
for
Ben.
joining us tonight.
Bruce
Hi,
Ben.
Ben.
the red
I
solo
love you
cup.
guys. Wait, it's this, and then it's this, and now it's this. All right. Love you guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
bye.
I hope those are nice
Bye.
words.
I'm
All right.
trapped.
Can I got to jump in with one that by Ben that goes along with what Katie was saying. One of my pet peeves, by the way, I do agree, and Stephen Burns was watching. He agrees the floor was packed. I think it was unusually packed. Sunday was almost impossible. Like I actually gave up and left. There were parts that, and I think they didn't have it Hall H on Sunday, but they also weren't doing anything. Were they doing Ballroom 20? I don't remember. When they don't pull people out for big panels, then the floor gets overwhelmed. A lot of the offsites closed down on Sunday too. So everybody came and it was, I'm sure some of the vendors might have loved it. And I especially, I have two things that were bummers for me. One, the comic book section was considerably smaller this year. It seemed like to me. I know that we lost Mile High Comics, and a lot of times the comic book vendors, I've heard that their complaint was that the offsites were pulling people out of the con, but also the prices of being a vendor at the con were just getting exponentially too high. I would just, Comic-Con, if you hear this, please make it so that we can have the comic book vendors stay. We need them there. They're the lifeblood of the con. And let's do everything we can to have more comic book vendors. And number two, I love you guys. I love the con. I love all the panels, but it seemed like some of these panels, someone didn't know that a panel was going to be popular and they would put it in too small of a room. Charlie,
That's a great point.
The Peanuts 70th anniversary panel, thousands of people were turned away, and the room was like, they could have pulled back. They should have put it in a larger room. Godzilla 70th anniversary panel. People lined up for that 5 hours ahead of time, and there were thousands upon thousands of people turned away. This happened way too much. Sometimes they hit it right now. We're always going to have lines. I know people are going to comment and be like, wine, whatever. But when someone, I'll tell you what, I do think there were a couple misses when it came to scheduling panels in rooms. I was so excited for that Peanuts panel. And when I show up hours ahead of time, and the line is out. The line not only goes, I mean, thousands of people. It wasn't just a little bit of people. Yeah, and Andy says he feels your pain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I did feel like this con. Thanks, Stephen. It felt like this con was a bit more crowded, which is both good and bad. But like we got a little bit crowded. Yeah.
Yeah, like it. you have movement again for a bit, Mark.
I did. I'm back. Okay, great.
It was nice because, it did have that pre-pandemic feel. Like, it did feel like that again in a lot of ways with the content and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was just little things like kindness goes a long way.
Yep.
And then another small thing, which I did forget to mention, is there was bag checks to get into Hall H, which, by the way, I don't have a problem with bag checks.
I've never heard of that before, though.
I totally understand bag checks. One thing in particular, though, is like you went through a metal detector, and if they said you were good, you could go and you could keep walking. But if you had to have your bag checked, you had to have your bag checked here, and all the people who behind you went through the metal detector were able to go around and get into line, which broke up the order of the line, if that makes sense. So that was the only thing that kind of irked me a little bit, was that if I had to get my bag checked, 10 people behind me got to go straight through because they didn't have to get their bag checked.
Yep.
And it just, you had a line and now it's kind of all broken up. But that's just a little tiny thing of like, hey, maybe just make sure everybody has to go through the same process.
I just want to put these comments in there. Stephen Burns, who had he did have the Blender 3D panel. His was pushing at he needed a larger panel room. I agree. And Lily said she did not get to any panel she wanted to see. Lily, I was with you. Like I had a hard time seeing any of the panels. And I don't know if we had more people at this con. It seemed like
it seemed busy.
Yeah. But I love that it's busy because that means it continues. But all right. Anybody else?
One of mine with that panel, they totally did not predict it right, was Welcome to Dairy. So they did like a 9 o'clock something panel. They gave them like a horrible time slot.
9:15 at night.
One of the smallest rooms. There was a gigantic line of people that want to see that, because technically that could have been a Hall H panel with how
a late night
people love it and everything. And if they gave it like a good time slot or like a ballroom 20 or 6A, even like ours, but maybe even bigger. But so many people want to show up with that, and us just being pressed. Luckily, we were able to get our way in, which was one of the better moments. But another weird thing they did, the panel was only 30 minutes and they came out and they stood in front of the tables because they didn't have enough time, because they showed clips and then they just said a lot of but I don't know why it ended up so short and so late in the night. But I will say it was an awesome panel, but I just wish more people got to see it.
I agree. And if you like extreme body horror, oh my gosh, there was pretty nauseating.
Some brutal scenes in that.
It was brutal, but it's going to be a good show.
What's it going to be on?
It's HBO.
HBO Max.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Question for you guys: do you think that Comic-Con would benefit from having like an overflow room where they screen certain panels?
Yeah, they do it for the masquerade.
Good idea.
They do it for the masquerade.
Yeah, they do it for the masquerade. I know, and they do it for Ballroom 20 the next day.
Yeah,
right.
And the thing is, I've noticed that, and I've sort of noticed this in the past, but they have spread out. They take over the entire Marriott Convention Center next door as well. Yeah, and then they've put some panels across the street in the Omni. They moved into the light, so they are expanding. So I guess we can't be, again, we're griping. We don't know exactly the logistics.
Yeah.
But to Katie's point and to Jessica's point, it seemed excessively busy on the floor. The panel rooms did not seem like they all matched and Lily, I'm going to put Lily's count because there we go. The convention center staff are not that nice. By the way, Lily is she's a volunteer for Comic-Con. So and she's one of the nicer ones. We love when Lily's volunteering. But
a lot of them are power tripping, and they always have been,
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this. I got a couple more real quick.
Yeah.
And this is something that happens every year, but it seemed like the food prices have just gotten so high. I get it. I'm going to start bringing candy bars or something. One thing that was a low for me, and this had nothing to do with Comic-Con, but everything to do with the Omni Tiki Social pop-up bar across the street. Do you have a picture of that, Luke?
Sorry, what are you
Mark
saying?
has thoughts on that, I think.
The Tiki bar across the street. Here we go.
Yeah, that was something I loaded.
Okay, what were you going to say about this, Luke?
I thought it was definitely a cool concept. I wish there was more tiki people there and involved as the bartenders and all that. But I'm glad they did some drinks, and the food actually was a lot of fun. Like we got one of the big platter things that I
Luke,
put
let
on.
me show it.
Okay, I
Okay.
thought I was doing it, but yeah. So we had some of the drinks, and
Actually, good.
they're
Actually,
all right. But I just wish there was more tiki people there involved, kind of running it and all that. But I'm glad they did it. You know,
If you're here from the Tiki Freaks, I just want you to know the go check out the social, the Tiki social. I was a bit disappointed by one thing. The drinks weren't the best. They were not the best. This is a pop-up of Beach Bum Berry, so it should be better. But when I brought up Beach Bum Berry's name, nobody there had ever heard that name spoken before. So
and
I'm
it
like,
wasn't
oh, this
on
is
the menu.
danger.
I don't think.
It's weird.
And we show up at 8:30, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we're closing." Like at 8:30,
wow.
on a night at Comic-Con, and that they were packed. I was like, "This is just whatever."
Hmm.
I wish they would have been more accommodating to the after hours crowd. Yeah, Katie, you were going to say something?
Yep.
All right. So
I do have one more kind of
Go ahead.
and I'm sure other people can chime in about this. How hard some of the collectibles were get. So I was
Katie
really
can help you talk about this too.
I was hoping to get some of the Mattel things. They had a Back to the Future vehicle of the DeLorean coming out of the Doc Brown Enterprises vehicle. That was super cool. And then they had this Jaws one for Mattel, which is unbelievable. It's the orca with the shark. And usually, like, they'll have the Jimmy Buffett releases. They'll have all this Jurassic Park stuff. And I had no problems, waiting in line and getting in the pass. But I literally did get up at like 9 a.m. to buy the stuff. And then within 4 minutes, I got everything, got like the ones I wanted, and was checking out at like 9:04. And then all of a sudden, there's this big waiting line of like 12 minutes or more. Then all of a sudden, like 8 minutes in or something, it's like Back to the Future sold out. And then I got down to the last minute. Then all of a sudden, Jaws sold out, like online and just barely any time at all. And then when I tried to go to the floor, they were like, well, no, you need the ticket stuff. And then everything that I wanted was selling out by like 10 a.m. before regular people could even get in line for it. So it was just, they missed a big opportunity on how much money they could have made from people. So
yeah, I agree 100%.
I hope they reissue or do something, because each thing only costs like $25, but now people are on eBay trying to sell it for like $180 for just one of them, and just these outrageous prices. So I really hope Mattel does a second issue, even if they put like a different date or a logo on it, so the public can see it, because they did such a good job designing the boxes and just the whole concept. Like, a lot of times you'll get a collectible and you'll be like, oh, should I take it out or leave it in? They did such a good job on the layout of creating a setting that I think a lot of people would enjoy it. But I'd hate if it never got to go to like the Targets and all the places that, do the nice collectibles. So Mattel, please help us. And I did reach out to them on the behalf of the con guy to see if maybe they can send us something to do a review.
Yeah, we're gonna do a review. And
Please,
both
Mattel,
Katie and Jessica,
please.
I think with like exclusives in particular, there's just so many like, yeah, we always know we have to like sign up on the exclusives portal, and it's hit or miss, and it's really kind of defeating. But for me, my biggest thing that like with exclusives is like, if it's a con exclusive, why are more of them not allocated to the actual convention?
Exactly.
And online? Like, I get you want to give other people the opportunity to get it that aren't on the con, but isn't a con exclusive meant to be for the convention? So I think that's always the thing for me, that I'm like, why do you have so few on the floor and put so many of them online? I think that's like the biggest thing for me, that I know it's money. Like I know how like consumerism works, but that's just kind of one thing that I've always kind of been bothered by at conventions, is like, we have to put them online, but that diminishes how many people can get them at the convention. And of course, you always have all the resellers who are ruining it for everybody. And I don't think there's ever going to be a solution to that, honestly. I mean, Labubu's alone were insanely expensive all weekend, and they were selling out everywhere.
The what?
Like, Labubu's, we've talked about, Jim, we've talked about this before.
Okay.
Anyway, the new thing that everybody wants, they are a blind box. They are made by Pop Mart, and people were reselling them on the floor, and they were one of the hottest items of the entire convention. So, and like everything, it was online within minutes. Like even before people buy them, they pre-sell them. people pre-sell things online before they have them. So I think that the exclusives portal is nice, but I definitely think it's a little bit difficult if you don't know about it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know about it, and you have to know exactly when it goes up, and you have to be lucky and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica, what were
And
you
they
gonna
had
say?
so many cool exclusives.
Yeah.
And I usually walk around and I do it like Sunday. Sometimes I slash prices. Sometimes it's sold out. It's kind of a gamble. But like NECA
Mhm.
and the Entertainment Factory. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They've got awesome stuff. They've had Jim. Remember that picture I saw you when I saw you on the floor? They had the flex capacitor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys need this in your apartment. And you're like, yes, we do. But the thing is like, and I was walking around with Big Chris, who was on our panel, who's the Jaws collector. I don't want to get it online in 6 weeks. I want it now. I got I got the cash in my pocket now.
No, can I? I'm gonna respond to you, Mark. Those of us who paid a couple $1,000 for the hotel room to come down to Comic-Con, buy all the food, stay there. Reward the people at the convention a little bit more instead of throwing it all online. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Here's what Mark looks like right now.
Oh, I do?
You're like, ah!
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
There you go. But
My bad.
Jessica was trying to say something.
No, it's fine. The exclusives are just ridiculous in trying to get them, and I feel like things like this, I know that we can't moderate, but I was telling Katie on Wednesday, I was like, people are already jacking up the price to 400%, and we're not even there. And I feel like there should be like a 30-day, you can't resell an item. I know black market and all that stuff, but so that's one of the things. But also going back, Jim, to the food, as a vegetarian, I was rather surprised there was not that much available.
Yeah.
So some
vegetarians
other
eat nacho
options would be
chips?
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jessica, because I was actually telling my roommates I was like, we walked through a lot of
We did.
downtown to try to find something that we could both eat, and almost everything had meat, and they didn't have meatless options or veggie options. So that was a huge thing. So
But other than that, no lows for me, unless you hangover.
And I know we beat this dead horse till it's dead, but Katie, you understand like the exclusives and autograph portal probably better than most of us here. And even though I know it was designed to expedite and supposedly to remove lines from the floor, so and the whole purpose is to get people out of lines on the floor.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, as somebody who likes to go to the con and find a treasure, find something, or like Luke was every day at crack of dawn getting there to get in line. He didn't have a ticket. He was just thinking, okay, I'll be the first person in line without a ticket.
Yeah.
There was nothing available unless you months ago or whenever they did. It was
they're just like, you can't even stand in line right now. And it was like the floor was open. They wouldn't even give me an option. They're just like, no.
Yeah, I think
like come back later. We don't know when.
Right.
I think even if they could utilize virtual lines like more, like you can make a virtual line. But there's I would love to see how they could play with this whole trying to get rid of lines but still have a line. I just love to see how they could improve that, because lines are such an issue on the floor, especially with traffic. So yeah.
All right, we're going to move on from this, but I'm just going to say, Comic-Con, you guys do a great job for these lows. We're not hating on you. We love Comic-Con, but some of these things, especially like getting an exclusive, it makes it hard. And sometimes it's a challenge to try to enjoy the con when you have to, for the entire 6 months to a year ahead of time, be marking your calendar 15 different dates to get there. I mean, we have survived badge sales, hotel sales, parking sales, and then this thing is like
bill at the Hilton lobby bar.
Yeah. I will say one improvement that I did notice though.
Yeah.
The big bags, as obnoxious as they may be, they added a zipper pocket inside of it, and they added a water bottle holder.
Yes, that was cool. So
that was genius because I'm always like, I don't want to put my water bottle all the way down here and maybe have it spill like all over my exclusives. And I saw someone walking with it and I'm like, where did you get your bit? Like he had a backpack and I thought it was like a booth exclusive one or something, right? And I'm like, where? I like that it has a water bottle holder.
Yep.
And I was like, where did you get that one? They're like, yours has one too. And I was like,
I know, I've never seen that before. That was a good addition.
I was so embarrassed half this weekend, you guys. I just had so many dumb moments.
Awesome. Speaking of moments, surprises. Let's limit it to one each. One each. If you guys have something that surprised you, a good surprise, not a bad one. Good surprises at the con this year. Mark, what was a good surprise?
I mean, again, going back to the Jaws panel, I was very surprised that 1,000 people showed up, and I'll just never forget that. It was awesome. Other than that, I met the creator of John Wick at the Bali High party. That was pretty rad.
The Bali High, but for those of you from the Tiki Freaks, the Bali High, the famous tiki restaurant over there on the bay at San Diego, they host the Bad Idea.
A bad idea.
They host a Saturday night tiki party over at the Bali High, and Mark was able to go. Our friend Tiki James was there. All you guys were able to go. We didn't make it over there, but I went 2 years ago. It's a pretty impressive party. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, Jessica.
I will say proud teacher moment because one of my students, who is a wonderful actress in Twisted Metal now, and just seeing her Instagram posts of being down there and having fun, it made my heart happy just to I didn't get a chance to see her and talk to her, but seeing how well she's done for herself is amazing.
Oh, that's so great. You were her teacher. That's so cool. You don't want to call her out?
Oh, Sailor Curta. I was actually, we went to the same church, met her older sister, Glory, and some of their family, and they're just all wonderful people. Had her in middle school, so yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so good. I was a little bit disappointed I didn't make it down to the Twisted Metal offsite. They had bumper cars. They had
some cool looking offsites. Me and Jessica were like, wow, we should have come out here earlier because like we were trying to figure out what the Fantastic Four thing was, and like we're like, well, that
car
looks
wash.
fun. Yeah, she kept calling it a car wash, and I was just like, we really should have spent more time out here, but it's so hard to when you're trying to do everything else.
They had a good amount of offsites this year, really did. Cheeseman, what about you? What's a memorable moment? I'm sorry, a surprise.
I was surprised how connected Mark was to the parties because we tried for years to get invited to parties, but Mark's like, "Hey, I can get you in."
Don't give away Mark's secrets.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not giving away secrets, but thank you, Mark. That was
wait, say there. Look at Mark. Go back to that picture. Go back. That's the Jaw after the Jaws panel. He's dressed up like Quint there. It was great.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was cool. Mark. Go ahead, Maluk.
I was going to move on to something else unless you had something to say.
Go ahead.
And the other surprise was, so I got on the train early at 8 a.m. on Sunday, and then I think Frank Grillo was just as tired as I was. Poor guy. Like, I was like, "Hey, man, what's up? Like, can I get a picture?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, but we were both so tired. But I was surprised to run into him.
What's his character? He's in
he's in like the Avengers movies, like the Skull.
Yeah. He's the Punisher, right? In the early Avengers. No, not the Punisher.
But I talked about Warrior. That was what I cared the most about because I really loved him in that.
Katie.
I had one and then I forgot it. But so one of the other surprises is that Jessica and I, after we had to check out of our hotel and we lost our parking spot at the hotel, we were like, we're going to Brave looking for parking near the convention center. And that is literally my anxiety. But thankfully, Jessica was driving. We found parking, no problem. By the Cheesecake Factory, by the Hyatt, like past the Hyatt. So not quite in Gaslamp, but we're like, we can walk that, no problem. And we parked 30. We said, hey, can we pay a flat rate instead of an hour rate? And she's like, are you going to the convention? We're like, yeah. We parked underground parking, and it was great. And I was pleasantly surprised because I've always had these horrible thoughts about what am I going to do for parking. So like I have to like give credit to that. Because that was a wonderful experience. And I told Emily when I got home where it was, so that if we ever have to find parking again another year, I know where to go. And no, I'm not going to tell you.
Good. Keep it to yourself. I was saying, don't share it. Don't share it.
I
But you
know.
can tell us later.
EMU later. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got 3 really quick ones. One, Mark surprised us by taking us to the IGN party after the Jaws panel. That was a big surprise, Mark. Thank you so
My
much
pleasure.
for that. I
My
really appreciated
I mean,
that.
who could say no to this face? I'm talking about Jim's, by the way. Just kidding.
Shut up. 2. Oh, I forgot my third one, so I'll have to post that one. 2, I was surprised. Oh, I had the picture ready to go. I was surprised that Tiki James showed up at our Tiki lunch. No, if you guys don't know,
gifts though.
he can't. No, that's what I was gonna say. But he came bearing gifts. Tiki James, if you're watching, thank you so much. Those are. Wait, I have one. He came bearing. I gotta take that picture down. Take the picture down. All right. He came bearing really cool gifts. He brought me this little tiki carving. He brought some necklaces, which are in the other room,
And a tiki mug.
and a tiki mug.
It was like
cool,
Santa's bag with Tim Allen. It just kept
some
having
art
more
books and
things.
some other things. So Tiki James, you are the dude. You are the dude. I had a third one, but I'm not gonna remember. All right.
I remember
Katie.
my other one.
Yeah.
I didn't spend any money on alcohol this weekend.
Whoa.
True.
I
True.
didn't drink as much as y'all did, but I did not buy
Also
any.
true.
You didn't.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that was
you
a surprise. But
You
the other
win.
surprise is that I did spend money on other things.
Oh wow.
So that's not a surprise, I should say.
My surprises are 100% the opposite. I didn't spend that much money on merchandise or toys or anything, but I spent a lot on booze. And we went to open bars too. I don't understand what happened.
All right. This is how we're going to end the show tonight, guys. Your most memorable moment. You can have 2 if they're quick, but think of a most memorable moment, something that stood out and made this Comic-Con year special. Jessica, I would like to hear from you.
Yeah. I know we talked about the cosplay being over dramatic sometimes, which wasn't great, but there was some families that did some absolutely phenomenal cosplays. I went to the ghosts panel, and there was a family with their kids dressed as the entire cast, and they were adorable, and it was just so much fun to see a whole family get involved.
The
So
whole
that
cast
would
of
be-
Ghost?
yeah. Yes.
Oh,
We
that's
had
so
some
cool.
ghosts.
That's so cool. I love that. Mr. Mark.
What's the question again?
Memorable
Most
moment. One of your most memorable moments.
Yeah, I think it's definitely when I got up on stage. Ben introduced me. I came out as Quint. I drank the Gansett beer. I crushed it, and the crowd went nuts. And my nerves just settled, and it was very memorable. And I'd say that. I mean, there are definitely a lot of cool, not memorable moments. In other words, but EW party, that was pretty cool too, from what I remember.
All right, Katie.
I mean, it's still gonna go back to Demon Slayer. Not only was that one of my most memorable moments of this con, but in cons in general, especially since the pandemic. I don't think I've had a moment like that since before the pandemic in 2019, because 2019 was kind of the epitome of all conventions for me. So it was that, and that's the biggest thing. But I do have to just show that one of the other things I only wanted to look for. I have to be very careful with what art I buy, because I buy art too much. If you know, you know. And as y'all know, K-pop Demon Hunters is huge, and I'm obsessed with it. And so all I wanted to do was find K-pop Demon Hunters art, and I got one of these.
There that is.
So this is all the Saja boys from K-pop Demon Hunters, but our artist does them like very boudoir, and it's shimmery. You can kind of see it's like sparkly.
Yeah.
I don't have the female one. I probably shouldn't show the female one on stream anyway, but yeah. So I got that. And I got to find the art that I wanted, and some of them were sold out really quickly. So yeah. But I think Demon Slayer is probably on my top 5 moments of all conventions. So.
And Luke, I'll go next, and you can finish out the most memorable moments. I have it written down up here. my buddy Bill Marcelli was with us at the convention, and he's a great guy. He's a screenwriter. He wrote the movie Deja Vu. He wrote some other things, but he says that he always expects, or he's always kind of open to like a magical moment that will only happen at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm sharing his because it was so cool. He was walking around. Bill, many years ago, wrote, that's not that many years ago. I'm looking, it's like 20 years ago, wrote on this animated TV series called Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was an animated series, Courage the Cowardly Dog. And some of the episodes he wrote are regarded as some of the most popular episodes ever written. The guy who was the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog was signing, and Bill went up to him. Bill found him. He had never met him in his life. 20 years, had written on the show and everything, but they never met because Bill was at his computer. This guy was in a recording studio. They finally met, and it was a really cool moment where this guy had a script that Bill had written on the table and then signed it. And Bill was asked by the people in line to buy it. Could you please sign this too? So Bill was asked, and then somebody in the line said, Mr. Bill Marcelli, can I have your autograph? And he was just blown away. He goes, that doesn't happen something he wrote 20 years ago, and just kind of, I just think it's one of the coolest stories. I love that story. To me, that's one of the best stories. Most memorable, one of my most memorable moments was the afterglow of the Jaws panel, sitting inside the Union restaurant and brew pub with everybody that was on the panel. I just loved it. It was just something, I was like, I can't believe it was so successful. It went so well. Thank you for everybody who came to the panel. Cheeseman.
Yeah, not to be so redundant, but that Jaws panel and just, seeing everybody up there, how people reacted, and just the love for the movie. And
look at that room. Look how filled it is. That's awesome.
We really wanted to get some cast and crew people there, but people still came out. So we're going to do our best on our next one that we do. But I think the panel did a great job, and it just really showed the love people have for that. And again, the Shag panel we did, I mean,
that was great.
People showed up, showed their love for tiki art.
Love this.
Like, it was a lot of work to do some of this stuff, and I had to juggle also a real job of doing it. So I feel like I missed a lot of the con, but I feel like just knowing that we got to entertain people, bring something they enjoyed, and kind of cross the line of, like, we started out like most people just going, and that now we're able to produce stuff like panels and stuff for people that they can enjoy and brings fandoms alive for them. So thank you everybody for coming out, and we just we love doing that for you. And regardless how tired we are after all this, it's all worth it to do something that can just bring people together and
absolutely
that they enjoy.
All right, we are going to close out, everybody. I will finish us. Cheeseman, do you want to see how people can find you, and any closing thought you might have?
Just find me on theconguy.com, and my personal social media is at Cheese on Couch, and that's on X as well. So we'll be posting more videos on YouTube as well. So definitely follow us, as we have a lot of Jaws content, and even these panels we're hoping to get all online. So follow our channels, and hope to be sharing these things with you.
Awesome. Jessica.
On Instagram, it's Get a Clue, spelled Kluch, because Ellis Island did us dirty. So you can find me there. Lots of teacher and cosplay stuff is what you will find.
Awesome. Jessica, thank you for joining the show, and thank you for joining us at San Diego Comic-Con. That we were so happy to have you down there and on the show tonight. Mark?
Thank you.
Yes, you can follow me at the Mark Atkinson. I don't know why I'm holding up this cup. I guess just to show you, this is like the only thing I bought.
Mark, you're frozen again. We can't see you.
Oh, okay. Well, am I holding the cup still?
No.
You look pleasant.
No.
You got a pleasant look on your face.
It's a nice look.
It's good.
Well, you can still hear me. Follow me at the Mark Atkinson if you can, and be on the lookout for us at more cons in the future.
Absolutely. Katie.
Hi everyone. It's Congirl Katie, aka KT_Christine with a C. Across all social media platforms, you can find me very actively online. I am very chronically online, so Yes. I'm going to close this out with "Don't be like me" and go to get a comic book signed that you didn't think was signed by your friend David Bohr, and then he opens it to tell you it is signed, and so he signs it again. So the silver was from, I bought it pre-signed in 2022, y'all. He wasn't at the booth. So I think they told me it was signed, but I forgot. And so he added the "For Katie, space gaze," and then it says, under his name, he wrote, "and 2025 SDCC." So it says 2022 and now 2025 SDCC. So don't be like me. Although he did tell me, David Bohr, friend of the show, that I should come back next year and get it signed. So I think I'm just going to do that.
Get it signed again.
Every year on that.
That said, one more thing in closing. Thank you guys again so much for supporting our show all these years. I hope if we even helped you feel a little bit more knowledgeable when it comes to going to conventions, then we've done our job. And I also want to say thank you to everybody who came out to the convention. It's been kind of a rough year for a lot of creators in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And so to be able to all kind of have this moment where we're all reunited, it is our community. No matter all the highs or lows, Comic-Con is our community. It is our second families. It is our time to get away and be geeky about passionate things. And it's been a rough year for a lot of us, all of us included. So just thank you, everybody, for helping us all find community and a time to get away from those things. So
amen. I love that. And to our Tiki friends, thank you for joining us. We know that Comic-Con isn't necessarily a Tiki convention, but somehow Shag pulled out all the Tiki freaks and all of us at the con. And San Diego has a huge collection of Tiki bars that kept them all smiling. Right, Mark? All those Tiki bars down there?
Well, you know it.
He's
False
pleasantly
Idol?
smiling.
He's pleasantly smiling. False Idol's one of the best. The Grass Skirt. We went
Don't
and
forget, we have
visited.
Tiki Oasis, another con that you can technically cover as the Tiki Freaks and the con guy.
We'll do that. Anyways,
Just saying.
we'll still be here throughout the year, but like Katie said earlier, for us, the day after the con ends is the first day of the Halloween season for us. So we're going into spooky season. So follow us on the Scare Guy show, which is the scarier side of the con guy. Also, as we close out, I'd like to raise a glass to this group right here in front of me, who make Comic-Con so fun and so doable. Ben's not here, but he's the world's best MC and the world's best panel host. Katie shows the ins and outs of everything having to do with signings, the portal, cosplay, how everything works. Katie knows things. She keeps us on. She keeps us all stitched together. Luke is an overwhelmingly loyal and helpful media director of everything we do and see. Mark, you're an incredible addition to our chaos and an incredible guide through all things San Diego. Jessica, you've been a pleasure on the show tonight. You're such a pleasant person, and Jessica, I've seen you in cosplay before as well. So anyways, guys, this has been great. And one last cheers to my brother Scott, who loved all this nerdy stuff too. And he never made it to Comic-Con. He left us 2 weeks ago, but I have kept him close this entire con. Anyways, everybody, we will see you soon, and have a happy Comic-Con again next year. We will see you then. But till then, watch us on the Con Guy. Bye, guys. I forgot to close. Let me say it again. Let me go to the closing. All right, guys. This is so awkward.
Look, it's Wolverine.
Thank you.
Coffee. It's Irish coffee.
All
I
right.
did cosplay once.
All right, guys. See, okay. Oh, I found it. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching The Con Guy, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts.